By 1718, Blackbeard was the most wanted man on the planet. Every naval officer knew his name, every port authority had his description. His ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, carried 40 cannons and a crew of 300 men. His success meant that he had an equally large target painted on his back. So how did the most wanted man in the world live like a free man? He didn't hide, he didn't run, he bought the people responsible for catching him. In 1718, Blackbeard was in a corner. His crew was suffering from syphilis. Blackbeard blockaded an entire port and seized 8 ships. He took a city councilman hostage and ransomed him in exchange for medicine to heal his crew. It worked, but this stunt made him the most wanted criminal on Earth. No major port would let him dock. He had ships full of stolen cargo and nowhere to unload it. His popularity made his street-level criminal enterprise crumble. There was too much heat from authorities. He needed legal protection to dock at ports without the risk of an arrest. The solution was simple. He needed to buy a politician. Governor Charles Eden of North Carolina was his man. Eden ran one of the most remote, underfunded colonies on the eastern seaboard. He had no navy and a government chronically short on money. Eden had a reputation for pragmatism, a polite word for flexibility when it came to the law. Blackbeard made his move. He sailed into Bath, North Carolina, Eden's home port, and surrendered. He accepted a royal pardon, formally promising to give up piracy. He bought a house and attended church. He even got married. On paper, Blackbeard was a reformed man. In reality, the deal was already made. The pardon wasn't an act of mercy. It was the opening transaction of a business arrangement. Blackbeard returned to piracy almost immediately. He would raid ships at sea, then sail the stolen cargo directly back to Bath. Eden would convene an official vice admiralty court and declare everything Blackbeard stole as abandoned goods found at sea with no owner. The goods became completely legal, stamped with the full approval of the colonial government. In one case, Blackbeard brought back 2 ships loaded with sugar and cocoa. Eden's court declared them abandoned. The cargo was formally divided, 60 barrels of sugar to Eden, 20 to his secretary, and the rest to Blackbeard and his crew. This single shipment alone was worth the equivalent of roughly $300,000 in today's money, split cleanly between a pirate and his corrupt politician. Blackbeard could now sell his stolen goods at market price because there was no need for a middleman. He was quietly becoming one of the wealthiest men in the world. The corruption was so well thought out that it was indistinguishable from an honest business. No one suspected a thing. Every problem Blackbeard had before vanished overnight. The governor was his business partner. Everyone was on his payroll, so there was no one left to snitch. The system worked perfectly until it became impossible to ignore. Virginia and South Carolina had watched their shipping get ravaged for months. Every complaint to North Carolina went nowhere because North Carolina's government was essentially Blackbeard's government. Virginia's governor Spotswood had enough. He had no jurisdiction in North Carolina, so he went outside the system entirely, secretly commissioning Lieutenant Robert Maynard to fulfill one mission: find Blackbeard and kill him. The hunt was on. On November 22, 1718, Maynard found Blackbeard anchored at an inlet. With the cover of darkness, he struck at Blackbeard's ship. Blackbeard's crew opened fire immediately, killing several of Maynard's men and forcing his ships back. Maynard ordered his surviving crew below deck to make the ship appear abandoned, luring Blackbeard to board. When Blackbeard's men climbed over the rail, Maynard's crew surged up from below and the two sides met in a brutal, close-quarters brawl on the open deck. Blackbeard fought like a man who knew exactly what losing meant. He took a musket shot to the body and kept fighting, then another. He absorbed wound after wound, 5 gunshots in total and 20 sword cuts, and did not go down until the last sword strike struck him fatally. When Blackbeard finally fell, Maynard cut off his head and hung it from the bow of his ship as proof. Virginia's governor, Spotswood, commanded his forces to march into Bath. They found millions worth of stolen cargo. Blackbeard's empire fell as quickly as it rose and ended with his untimely death. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing. It truly means a lot. Thank you.